I think you highlighted a very good point there that ties into to shame. It's like, so when we're feeling ashamed of something, we could not be able to separate what we actually like from what we don't like because the shame is in the way there. But then you gotta like try and say like, is this actually me that doesn't like this? And is it actually me that's not comfortable, or is this the shame talking? And I can imagine that must be a long process to be able to identify what is your actual self and what is the shame.
Yeah, that is so um so on point, you know. And shame is it's so pervasive. Like even after you figure out that you enjoy this, then afterward the shame can linger. So you have to deal with that too. Yeah.
So you mentioned your story about being attracted to someone from the same sex as you. Is that something you wanted to talk to a little bit more about? Coming to recognize those feelings growing up, and did you have anyone to talk to at the time? How old were you again when that happened for the first time?
I was let's see. I think I was the first time it happened, I think I was in my teens. So uh mid-teens or something like that. I was like 15 when I started recognizing that these feelings existed and being conscious of them, but then repressed them a whole lot. And the first time I had sex was I was 20, 20 years old. So that was some time. And when I saw somebody, when I did the double take, I think I was 18 or 19. So it took some time in college to be able to feel comfortable enough to date or to do anything with anyone because it was just so terrifying that it was more of the punishment portion of it where I've been told that, I'm going to go to hell or I'm a bad person if I do these things or think these things or feel these things. And I think there was a point eventually where I was like, okay, I can't stop thinking about them. So I'm already doomed. I may as well just go and do the thing. And I had no one really to talk to or support because I had this warped sense of identity where, oh yeah, I'm attracted to the same sex, but also all you people who are attracted to the same sex are evil and you're terrible and you're going into the lake of fire and all those things. And but it was just so hard to be able to separate those things. So I had no one to really tell about what was happening because if I ran into somebody who was already out and living their life and free and stuff, I would judge the heck out of them. And it was so warped. It was so hard to be able to find comfort in someone, especially if I'm going to judge them and tell them that their lifestyle was terrible. It's just so it was just all experimenting and kind of like figuring it out. And I think eventually after I discovered um that my judgment is getting in the way of me enjoying anything, then that's when I was able to start connecting with other people. And I think that started to happen in my mid 20s. So a long time, long gaps of working through it, just working through everything that I've been told and everything that I've experienced and trying to make my own decisions about them.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like not having that outlet to talk to, or not having people to relate to, or not being able to have these open dialogues about sex brings so much of unnecessary difficulty to discovering our sexuality.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And there's a part there that just remembered about college and how I kind of got into a polyamorous relationship too, because it was a surprise. I had no idea this thing even existed, being naive and from a small town. So I go into college, and the first person I start dating, they had they were living with a married couple, and I think, well, that's no big deal. I mean, you're going to save money on rent, and they're already cool. It's great. And turns out that they were all a thing, so
How many?
there was one guy and a married couple. And so
Okay.
it was like the married couple, the man and the woman, uh, and the guy that I was dating. So the guy that I was dating was with the married woman, and the married man, he had another thing on the side. And so
Okay.
the relationship was between the married woman and the married man. They had a really strong relationship together, and then they had other people on the side, essentially.